this seems like it was absolutely the right decision and that they tried to repair this relationship. Jake Trotter was telling us that the families went on vacation together. They were flying to different places to practice together in the offseason. So now that it's all said and done and the Browns will release Odell Beckham Jr., Adam, what suitors are we looking at?
Well, it's not a question of basically Odell picking his spot. It's the spot picking him. And he's going to go on waivers at some point, and they're reworking the contract to make it more palatable for a team to claim him on waivers. And that's really been what's happening here. They're converting the remaining, I think it's just over $8 million in base salary into signing bonus. And without getting technical, what that does is it makes it more attractive for another team to claim Odell Beckham Jr. on waivers so that the Browns don't eat all of that $8 million. So whichever team claims him, and I believe he will be claimed, they will be responsible for the rework contract with whatever is left on the deal that the two sides have agreed to, which they're still trying to finalize. So I don't know what that number is going to be. Let's just call it $2 million. Okay, somewhere in that range, whatever the number is. Every team will have to ask itself, do we want to claim Odell Beckham Jr., who has basically no guaranteed money on his contract next year, and bring him in? And so I'm sure there are going to be places that appeal to Odell Beckham Jr., places that do not appeal to Odell Beckham Jr. Now, if you're an NFL team, you're probably saying to yourself, I don't really care. Go ahead and because then I could consider trading him in the offseason, trading his contract. So maybe I claim him and I trade him for even a 7th-round draft pick. Now, Odell Beckham Jr. is not going to be happy about going to certain places. So this is the idea of the contract that the Browns are restructuring by converting the base salary into signing bonus. Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't have any say there. The Browns can just unilaterally do that by the terms of the collective bargaining agreement. He still has to sign off on the language, which is what they're going through, but it's a situation where he's jammed up and he will not have a choice. He will be put on waivers, and the interesting part will be what his options are if he's claimed by a team and an organization that he doesn't want to go to. Does it get messy then? I think it could. I think it could. Now, if he goes to a place that he welcomes, then all's good. And for the time being, he'll live happily ever after, I guess, for the time being. But the waiver claim surrounding him, the Browns have made it such that they are enticing other teams to claim him on waivers. And I expect that he will be claimed on waivers. And the question is, who is claiming him, and how does that interest or not interest Odell Beckham Jr., and what does he do?
Adam, thanks for being on the show. Let me ask you this. A lot of noise was made about Odell Beckham Jr.'s father going on social media and doing what he did just a few days ago. A lot of people looked at that as a tactic, collaborative tactic on the part of the Beckham clan to get him out of Cleveland. At the end of the day, is that going to end up being the best move he could have made for himself simply because he was desperate to get out of Cleveland? Or based on what you're telling us, it could potentially be considerably worse because he's going to be put on waivers?
Well, look, those things, the father's post, the LeBron James tweet, the Marcus Stroman tweet, they all came on the trade deadline day. So you ask yourself if that just all happened by coincidence or it didn't. Okay, now, what we can say is that Odell's wanted out of Cleveland for a while. Mm-hmm. He's definitely wanted out of Cleveland for a while. And the Browns had trade discussions on Tuesday with other teams, and they had discussions around the trade deadline with other teams. They just could not agree to terms with anybody else. Now, what I don't understand, I still have to make more calls on, is why didn't Cleveland just say, you know what, okay, I'm going to take, let's just, I'm making this up. Let's just take, I'll trade you Odell Beckham Jr. and a 6 for your 5 to flip draft, like anything, rather than just release him. And they didn't do that. And now maybe, you know, again, they could not find anybody to satisfy them on trade terms. So now he's going to be going on waivers. And now the now the situation will unfold in a very interesting way to see whether or not he is claimed by an organization that he is comfortable and happy going to. And that'll be interesting to track here. And we also don't know, because they're not done on the contract yet. They're still not done. Nothing has changed since this morning other than the Browns GM, Andrew Berry, officially announcing a short time ago that we're finalizing the contract, which we knew, and that as soon as it's finalized, they will release him. Now, we don't know whether that will be today, tomorrow, or Monday. But sometime as early as today, and probably no later than Monday, Odell Beckham Jr. will be waived. He will then go on waivers, and the other 31 teams will have the option to claim him.
Yep. And right then, Adam, we will be calling you back. So sit tight. Thank you so much, Adam Schefter, with the latest on Odell Beckham Jr. being released by the Cleveland Browns. He will be released by them shortly. Adam, thank you again. We're going to have much more on this as this story continues to unfold, but still to come.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.